Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So within today's video, we are going to be talking about the match between Barcelona and Osasuna. Osasuna has been having a great season. Yes, they are 9th in the league. It does seem like Osasuna is not doing great, but we have to understand who is above Osasuna. Look at Girona, Athletic Club, Real Betis, Villarreal. These are all teams that have been also doing very great this season. They have all upgraded to whatever they were last season, which is the reason why Osasuna is in 9th place. And so the fact that they are in the top 10, it's still very impressive. They're also in the final against Real Madrid, and it's a huge deal for Osasuna, right? Because the fact that they can face Real Madrid in that final and take away a cup from a big club, it's again a huge deal for this team. And it's a miracle that they are even in that position. So they are coming with a lot of momentum. And one of the players that has improved their attack this season has been one of our own players, which is Abde. You can also see as a collective, when it comes to accurate long balls per 90, they are in the top 3 with a total of 32.2 accurate long balls per 90. They're also in the top 3 when it comes to accurate crosses per 90 with a total of 5.4. So they're very good in long balls and crosses. And the reason why they are so good at that is because they have great wingers and they know exactly who to look for. Like for example, look at these clips that I'm showing you guys here. This was against Real Betis. Their last 2 goals, right, in this match resulted in almost the exact same play, which is by using their wingers and having those wingers distribute great crosses into the box, which ultimately led towards goals. You can see Baraja on the right side, and then we can also see Abde being dangerous on the left side. And this is going to be something that Barcelona is going to have to keep an eye on, because Osasuna is very dangerous regardless whether Abde is going to be there, yes or no. They're going to be sitting deep. They're going to want to defend Barcelona, invite them into their own half, and they're going to want to counter and then look for those crosses inside the box. It's going to happen. Remember that. And I hope that Xavi Hernandez also does remember that. Now, like I've said about Abde is actually not going to be playing at all. He's not in the squad list for Osasuna, but regardless if he's there or not, they're going to be using like a very similar player to Abde on the left side to do the exact same role, which is to use their pace, go on the corner, and make those crosses in the box. And the reason why Osasuna is not going to be using their most dangerous player in the attack is because it does say here, according to Sport, that Abde will not play against Barcelona tomorrow only because of a fear clause that is in the loan move. If Osasuna wants to play him and against a team where he did come from, they will have to pay a penalty of $300,000 to Barcelona, but they have decided not to do so. And I can understand why Osasuna made this decision, because they're like, okay, look, why would we pay $300,000 or euros for a game where we could lose? And I know, right, you may also say that, you know, that seems very unprofessional coming from Osasuna. I can understand why some people might view it in that way, but I think that another reason why Osasuna made this decision is because they're like, okay, look, not only are we going to be spending $300,000 for nothing, but we also have a very important game right after Barcelona, which is going to be the final against Real Madrid, and we want to use Abde 100% fresh. And I know that Osasuna's main focus is against Real Madrid on that final. Even Xavi Hernandez said in the press conference that Osasuna has their attention towards the Madrid final. And so who knows, what if we just see a completely different starting 11 from Osasuna, an 11 that Osasuna never used only because they want to reserve all of their important players for the final? Because look, it's a huge deal for the club. I said this before, it's their second final ever in their history to be in a Copa del Rey final. The last time they were in a Copa del Rey final was back in 2005, and it was against Real Betis. In the end, I can imagine Abde being very upset, because I know that he wants to show to the world and to the club and to Xavi specifically on what he can do. He just has that type of mentality. Xavi Hernandez has also given out his opinion regarding the situation of Abde, and this is what he said. With Abde, we will decide at the end of the season. He has matured a lot and he has progressed in his career, and it has been a very good loan. He has a lot of talent to succeed at Barcelona. He has the conditions to stay here, but it depends on his mentality. And I do think that Abde has a great mentality. I cannot wait for that final, because I do think that Osasuna has the chance to take that Copa del Rey trophy with Abde playing a huge part. So I know this is starting to sound like a pre-match preview of Real Madrid and Osasuna, but I'm just like, I'm very excited for Abde, because I think that if he does well in the final, Xavi Hernandez will for sure consider his return and maybe have him become a backup to either Dembele or Rafinha or Messi or whoever is going to be on the wings and play a huge important role. And I would be so happy, because usually when Barcelona have their players go out on loan and go to a different club, it usually never works out and they never end up returning because they simply just don't impress. But with Abde, it's a different story. So now let's move on towards the squad list here, and we can see that we have all of our main group of players, our core. We have Koundé, we have Alejandro Balde, we have Gavi, Lewandowski, Pedri, Dembele, Ansu Fati. And the one thing that I want you guys to notice here is that yes, Lamine Yamal is yet again in the squad list, which is very exciting. I'm like such a fanboy of situations cases like this when we see a youngster slowly but surely becoming a regular in the squad list. And so when it comes to the latest regarding this youngster here, it does say here that yes, Lamine Yamal was once again involved in the first team training session earlier this morning and to prepare for the game against Osasuna. Xavi Hernandez during the press conference also wanted to talk about Lamine Yamal and whether he's going to be renewing or not, and this is what he said, and I quote, "The renewal of Lamine Yamal is going very well. It is under control. He wants to be here. I'm calm about it. The idea is for him to stay in the first team dynamics." Then we also have Fabrizio Romano, who has stated that Lamine Yamal will be renewing his contract. He has given his yes and wants to stay. Parties are now working on the documentation side of things, and the club wants to close it as soon as possible. The signing will take place in July when he does turn 16 years old. So this is good news for both parties, for Yamal and for Barcelona. I hope that La Liga does not give Barcelona the trouble like what they did with Gavi when Gavi was trying to register himself as a first team player or have a senior contract, because Barcelona right now are currently lending Yamal a senior contract. And I just don't want the same headache, because I know La Liga, and to be more specific, Javier Tebas likes to give Barcelona this type of difficulty. So hopefully, right, Barcelona put the game away very early and we can win maybe 4-0 by the 65th minute, and then from there all the way until the 90th minute we can put in Yamal and also maybe even Pablo Torre. I want Yamal to play a total of 25 minutes because I think it'll be really good for him. And then if we can put the game away this early, Pablo Torre can come in for Pedri, give Pedri rest, which would be nice to see. And this is going to lead me towards our most possible starting 11 that we could see, and this is going to be Ter Stegen in goal. Our back four will be the infamous back four, which is Alejandro Balde, Koundé, Araujo, and Christensen, with our midfield being Busquets, Frenkie, and Pedri, and our front three, Gavi, Lewandowski, and I would love to say Dembele, but I just feel like Xavi Hernandez will be reserving Dembele for later in the match, but I think that we will be seeing Rafinha. Keep in mind, I want Dembele to start, but I just don't think that Xavi Hernandez is going to be taking that risk. And the players that I would love to see come off the bench would be, like I've said, Pablo Torre, Lamine Yamal, and maybe even Ansu Fati coming in, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in the previous match against Real Betis, Ansu Fati looked way more explosive in the final third, and I would like to see more of that against Osasuna. And hopefully by the last 15 to 20 minutes, our front three could be Yamal on the right side, Ansu Fati on the left, and Ferran Torres as the number 9, with our midfield being Pablo Torre, Frenkie, and Busquets. So that is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.